Hi, folks. I'm Kevin Nelson here for the Linfield Sports Network down in the basement of Renshaw Hall at the KSLC studio with head coach of the Linfield Wildcats men's basketball team, Shanan Rosenberg. Coach, thanks for joining us again this Tuesday afternoon. Coach, I want to just jump right in and get to the past month of basketball here in January. We haven't met in a while. Starting with the games at the Wits, Whitworth and Whitman, two nationally top 10 teams, and you battled them really to the final minutes of both of those games, something that not very many teams can say they've done.
No, that's a big step for us. I mean, I'm not a big moral victory guy, but I was proud of our team, and I think it demonstrates a number of things. I think, number one, the growth of the program here at Linfield and our team being able to compete on the road with two excellent teams, I think says a lot about our young men and where our program's heading. Obviously your margin of error against those teams are quite small, and you got to really bring your A game top to bottom. But the takeaway from that certainly I think was some growth with the team and some confidence that we're not that far off from being able to to really compete and get a win against teams of that caliber. So some real positives there, but we were under the conditions we were under with the weather and etc. Coupled with the usual distance pieces. Our guys held up real well. I was pleased with that.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the weather. Your team got back late, I believe, on Monday with a game on Tuesday against Pacific, and then looked really, really good in that Pacific game.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think for both teams, that was a real challenging game. I think it showed the resolve of our team coming off a couple road losses there, and knowing we were up against it with Pacific, who had knocked off Whitworth at home a couple days before. I think the guys that got their attention for sure, and we were ready to play, and we were fortunate to play well down the stretch to be able to separate and get the win there.
So you beat Pacific and then follow that with a weekend win over George Fox. Vince Romeo hits the game-winning three in the closing seconds to get the W.
Yeah, two big threes in the last minute and 20 there, and I think it was a great defensive stop, and then another three. We were down one, didn't necessarily need a three, but just kind of the way it worked out. But we were fortunate to be able to execute well and for him to knock down those shots. I think a lot of the exuberance from the team wasn't just the fact that we won the game. I think a lot of it was for Vince. You got a lot of guys on our team. I know for me, I felt elated for him to have that experience. I think was really special, and he's as hard a working guy, if not the hardest working guy in our team. And for a guy like that, man, you can't be happier for to him to have that moment, and hopefully lots more to come.
Yeah, seeing that video from the sideline, you guys celebrating was definitely special. Then your team goes and blasts away Willamette by 16 points. Jordan Clark off the bench, 18 in that one for him, a career high.
Special night for Jordan. I think he was really locked in. I think our whole team played pretty well. Liam O'Reilly, Matt Woods, a number of guys gave us quality minutes in that game. Riley and Vince were real, I think, just pesky on defense and did a great job there. And, Jordan, just a real efficient game. You could see it in his eyes. He was ready to go. And I think that was a really nice performance for us. And I think in some ways, it took a toll on us in some ways for Saturday. But that's this conference. I mean, that's the way the schedule sets up, which I'm not a huge fan of, and I've said that a number of times publicly. And but it is what it is right now, and we had to come back and battle a PLU team playing very well the next night.
Yeah, before we talk about PLU, I want to talk about Riley Brule and his three-point shooting percentage. Still over 50%, still tops in the Northwest Conference. What's his keys, or I guess the keys to getting him the good looks three-point-wise?
Well, I think he's selective. I mean, he's playing the point for us quite a bit with Eric being out now, and that's probably taken away more opportunities for him. But I think he's really understands shot quality, and I think he lets the game come to him. We try to, believe me, I'm promoting him being more aggressive. We're going to try to find ways to get him a few more looks. But he's a wonderful shooter and of course person, and playing really well. But I think a lot of it is just his shot quality and his shot selection are really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You take on PLU on Saturday night and lost 67-54. Your team got down early, battled back, really closed the gap down to 3 with about 3 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that comeback for your team, eventually to fall short.
Yeah, that was tough. I guess the real positive thing was, I think the second half we defended really well. We played with good energy, gave ourselves some opportunities to turn the corner, and for a variety of reasons, we came up short. I didn't think overall we played very well, and I give PLU a lot of credit. I thought they played exceptionally well, and that's a very seasoned group they have who I think played like a team with urgency. We could have used more of that on Saturday night, but I was really impressed with the crowd and the support we got from our fans, and I think that's really starting to build nicely, and certainly really appreciate that. It's nice to create that environment. I know our kids appreciate it,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to continue to build that, but and also give folks a reason to come back. So hopefully we'll get back on track here this weekend.
A huge weekend coming up. You faced Lewis and Clark up in Portland. They're tied with you for third place in the conference standings. And then Puget Sound the next night, they're just one game back. So these games huge in the Northwest Conference playoff picture. Things panning out come this middle way point of the season.
Yeah, no question. I mean, you can look at it from a variety of different ways. The way I see it, every game's huge. This year in particular, because of that log jam in the middle of the conference, it's going to be like playoff games every night.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's fighting and scrapping to try to get up on one another. I don't know how to give it a proper analysis other than, we honor every opponent and we got to bring our best every night. It sounds cliche, but just the way it is. And quite frankly, the only thing that, seems to be nice for us is 5 of our last 8 are at home. So, I think that can be a good thing. We just need to keep being better every day and every week. And just, our teams really set their sights on that and not really looking ahead or giving the broader picture or the standings, or we don't give that a whole lot of analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Castle take on Lewis and Clark on Friday night up in Portland, and then Puget Sound in McMinnville. Coach Rose, thanks for the time.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.